Hi, I'm Will Rickman. I'm a LENS Neurofeedback technician from Jackson, Tennessee. I grew up in Jackson my whole life, and once I graduated high school, I went down to Oxford, Mississippi. I pursued a bunch of different majors. None of them ever really seemed to stick with me. I got pretty disillusioned in school and switched over to the service industry. I have pretty heavy ADHD, so that always catered well to me, but I kind of became disillusioned over time. I didn't really feel like I had a purpose. And that's when my mom, who's actually a therapist for forward counseling, presented LENS to me. She presented it to me as a solution for my ADHD, which at that point I was pretty critical of because I had grown up my whole life having ADHD, and I always had the understanding that it was never something you could defeat, you could just work around, whether that be medication or planning, therapy, anything. None of them seemed to stick. I had been through the runner with medication. I always felt like you were paying for it in one way or another. Therapy was hard for me to focus, oftentimes. And it got to a point in my life where I couldn't really feel like I could do anything I actually wanted to. Like my inhibitions, my ADHD was holding me back. So she presented it to me as not only an aid to it, but an actual fix. And I finally gave in and I said, okay, sure. So she administered LENS on me, and I almost immediately saw the effects. Days after that, I noticed I was being more attentive. I was getting tasks done that I had put off for months. And beyond that, it was affecting not only my ADHD, but a lot of my motivation and mood as well. I had some pretty bad trauma, things like that, that left me with a lot of defenses up. And I would get set off on certain things. And it took my girlfriend pointing out to me after I'd been doing LENS for a little bit that just a certain occurrence came up that typically would always make me pretty upset. And it took her being like, hey, you didn't get upset. And kind of realized, I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't. That's crazy. So I started asking my mom more and more about LENS and learning about it. And one of the things that really stuck out to me at first was the fact that with LENS, there's almost little to none client participation required. I've been through the ringer with therapies, and it always felt like my ADHD held me back from really healing in those scenarios. I couldn't get in the right headspace to heal. So it really appealed to me, the idea of just being able to sit back and let the healing come to you. So my girlfriend and I, we both got relatively invested in it, and we decided to buy our own system and get trained in LENS. And since then, we've been providing LENS to pretty much anybody that can take it. I'm very confident in the system and what it can do, and I've seen how it helps people, and that's probably the most gratifying thing, is seeing someone actually heal. It's a really crazy thing, and it's very motivating. So that's something that really stuck with me, and it's kind of the motivation for me doing what I'm doing now. I'm extremely excited to provide LENS for forward counseling, and I'm excited to see where we go from here.